What's up?
Hey, bro.
Did you have a
Sorry.
little phaser on that?
Yeah, it was a flanger.
Hell yeah.
I'm, I
Well,
just realized my mic is going through my I have this 4-track cassette recorder called a CR4, and
uh-huh.
it's got like an amp modeling section and like a bunch of weird effects and stuff, and it's super dope.
So we got
Yeah, sorry.
the full. Oh, nice,
All right, this is the wow.
nice.
Yo, wow.
It sounds like this is your captain speaking
It's
on like an
pretty
airplane.
sick. It's pretty sick. If that was the captain, it'd be a pretty cool captain.
Be a pretty cool flight.
Pretty cool flight. That's what I'd say.
I had a guest once. The whole time we were talking, have the slapback delay on, and neither one of us knew until he sent it to me, and then it was so loud in the file. And I was like, "Buddy, you got we
That's
gotta resend this, please."
that is awful.
Yeah.
Well,
How you
cool,
doing, dude?
bro. Dude, I'm good. Are we recording this already?
We technically are.
Cool.
So we can just get started if you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm down with that, man. That was a fun intro. So,
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. Be done.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
hold on. Let's talk about how to pronounce your name
yeah,
first.
yeah.
Is it
Beaton.
Beeden?
Yeah,
Beeden.
but people
Okay.
call me. You said B Don.
Be
People call me.
done. Yeah. I'm sure
People
there's a
call me.
million versions.
Yeah, people call me Don. So
Mm,
if you want to call me Don, that's
done.
fine.
That's great. I
Yeah,
like that. Cool.
Don or Donnie or whatever, man.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yes.
But yeah, Beeden, we got you here. You're from Nashville. What's cool is I've been doing a lot of in-person interviews lately, so it's nice to jump back on the Zoom train. This is how I started this podcast, actually.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
And yeah, we also got you on your sophomore album release day, which is huge.
Yes.
So
Yes.
congratulations for that.
Thank you, dude. It's been a very, very, very long time coming. And I'm honestly just like grateful that it's out, glad that it's out. Um,
Yeah.
it was a very weird release process, and we can get into all of that. But I'm really proud of this album, and I'm just, yeah, grateful that it's finally out and I can move on.
Yeah, it is a bit of a it's a bit of a release when you find, I mean, it is a release day, but like it's
Nice.
an emotional yeah, it's an emotional release day as well.
Yes, dude. Yeah, I mean a big part of this album, like I moved here from Oxford, Mississippi, where I went to school. I'm originally from Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then went to school in Oxford, and then COVID hit, like, a month or two after I released my first album, and I had like a bunch of plans to go like tour that
Yeah, of course.
summer and stuff, and like, had all these like plans and was like really excited, and was also planning on moving to Nashville that May. And then COVID hit, and then I still moved here in May of 2020, which was insane.
Oh, whoa.
And so it kind of forced me to like just figure something else out, because I couldn't really promote my album that I just put out,
Yeah.
other than just being like, hey, go listen to it. So that started me down the path of like writing for this album, which took like, I had like a couple songs written, but took me a sec, and then finding time with my producers took like a year. And then once we finally like got in the studio and stuff, and then there was like a producer's change because um they didn't think they were going to be able to finish the album because they had to go on like a big tour, and then yada yada yada. Basically, Adam Lockamus, my guy, shout out to Adam plays keys in my band. He's also produced my first record, just me and him. And then Adam produced this record alongside Isaiah Beard, it was the first time I've ever worked with him, and he is also, shout out Isaiah, an
Nice.
unbelievably talented dude. They both, I think, murdered the production on this, and then it was mixed by Joel Gardella, who's a super dope mixer, um, and mastered by this dude named Ryan Schwab. And
Nice.
yeah, I forget. I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, I don't know. It was just like I had in moving here during COVID and being like, you're moving here to do music, yada yada yada. I put like an insane amount of like pressure and expectations on this music to like bring me something, which is I
Yeah.
learned is bullshit. And
It's a fool's errand right there.
yes, it's awful and only leads to sadness and pain. So I experienced
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of pain in the process of recording and releasing this album. Bless you.
Thank you.
But yeah, dude, it was a really hard and difficult process, and I actually think I learned an insane amount from it.
Hell yeah.
Just from like going through all of that and having the opportunity to not learn from it, and I didn't for a really long time, and then honestly it took until I started trying to produce music myself uh for my next album, which is this whole disgusting mess
Your
behind you.
background here. Yeah.
This is my studio that I just built in the basement that I just moved into this duplex with my wife. I just got married.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Thank you. It's big moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Making money moves.
yeah, trying to. But yeah, I forget what I was saying, but
Talking about all the lessons that you learned. This was a pretty hard process. What made it particularly difficult this time around?
um I feel like a lot of artists might resonate with this, but when it's your project and you're not really in control of how it goes and you're just kind of like at the mercy of like the process of making an album with someone else, you know what I mean? Like you're not
Mm-hmm.
like actually in the chair. Um it just like puts a lot of like innate pressure on it to work, and like, you know, it's just like there's
Mm-hmm.
just like a lot of pressure in the like recording of it. Sorry if I'm popping a lot on this mic. Um
I can't hear it.
okay, cool. Oop, oop. This SM58's kind of jacked up. Um
It's a classic though.
it is, dude. I love this mic actually. I was
I
like,
need to get some. I
dude,
got this
I need to get
SM7B. Dude, this is sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
But
I
I
need
only
that
have
mic.
one, and then I have a Rode, which is nice, but like having one and the other one for like the
Yeah.
podcast is a little odd because they do sound pretty different. I just need a couple of those bad boys that you got.
Dude, yeah, they're like cheap as heck and they
Yeah.
work. Um yeah, I don't know. I just feel like being like the artist and putting all the pressure um on yourself to make something when you kind of don't really have like full control. It's like I think the lesson to learn is like kind of letting go actually, and
Mm-hmm.
letting things be. Um I don't know. And then the
So is it hard for you to kind of let go of? I mean, obviously these songs are very important to you. Is it hard to
yeah.
let go because you can't work on it whenever you want? Somebody else has their own schedule and they might have to work on other people's stuff as well? Or is it
Yeah.
like them
I,
physically being the one to do the things?
Dude, I don't even know what my point was by that, but mainly just saying that like recording in the first place is just like a difficult thing, and it's hard for artists specifically who aren't like producing it themselves, because like all you're really after is like trying to translate, you know, your vision or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, I don't know, there's just like ways in which that's difficult. But I've found that in producing for myself, um, that is like the I don't think necessarily like every artist has to produce and every artist has to like become a producer and go that path. But I think for myself, it's like it's kind of exactly what I was supposed to be doing at
Mm-hmm.
some point. But I learned a lot from making these first two albums with these two fantastic producers. Um, and also just learned a lot about like the artist's process and what it's like to be an insecure baby making a record, um, and having other people like hold you. And I also, um, I don't know, I feel like I've learned how to like do that for myself now, you know? Like I
Like
don't
the
think I,
emotional side of it.
yeah, and just like learn to let go during the creation of it. I think it's like easy for the that's kind of what I'm saying, I guess. It's like because when you go into the studio, when you're the artist, you have like your babies that you're handing over to another person and they have to be really good and you get really attached to all the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you learn how to produce and just like create, then these things like don't really matter and you can like let go and just let yourself like paint and just like
Yeah.
learn how to just like play again. Uh so I know this like day is like big for my album. Um, you know, but honestly it's like I have been on such a trip since recording this album,
Mm-hmm.
um, making this third album that I'm working on right now. Uh that has been like the biggest kind of like growth period I've had was after the finishing of this album and the like how do I even like put this out? I had like a label involved at one point and I had a very um sour experience there,
Oh
which
wow.
was yeah, which was wild and kind of made me I don't know, something that was really inspiring to me actually was like after that happened, I actually like listened to your podcast and the
Oh,
episode that you did with Tommy
shout out
and
to the
shout out
man.
Tommy. Yeah, Tommy's the man. I sent him a plugin one time. Digitalis. It's a really good plugin. It's really
Uh-huh.
weird. But anyway, anywho, um, I just like found his mentality and just like I don't know the whole like we bought a zoo thing like really interesting and inspiring and I don't know just I kind of forgot where I was going with that actually but I guess I need to drink my coffee.
Talking about how, you had a rough experience with a label, so you listened to the podcast and then one with Tommy.
Yeah, I think my point being was just like I don't really want to wait on permission anymore and I really like love and admire and respect like the attitude that like that whole scene has as far as like working with Tommy and like putting it out and just like I don't know, just doing it yourself, DIY
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know. I especially admire like the label portion of what Tommy's doing with the whole We Bought a Zoo thing. I just think it's really cool, and I also just like I don't know. There's a lot of like togetherness that I feel like people in Athens get to
Community.
experience there. Yeah, which is so tight, and I feel like
That's
obviously
why I
there's a
moved here.
yeah, well, that's sick. That's sick. There's obviously like a massive amount of artists in Nashville.
Right.
And a lot of times it feels pretty isolated and pretty like, you know, everybody's out here for them.
Saturated.
Yeah, and everybody's kind of like out here for themselves and like there are pockets of scenes. I just feel like I don't know. I want to do a better job of actually trying to be a part of a scene and like helping foster things that make things a scene instead of just like I don't know playing the game. I feel like so many people here try to like play the game, especially with like trying to get people in the industry to like notice and help, and that's just like a fucking pardon my French.
You're good.
I don't know, just a toxic experience, at least as far as like I've experienced it. And I'm just like, I don't know. and moving in this new era of whatever my project is, I'm like starting to produce for other artists too. And I don't know, I just feel like there's like opportunity to like actually help foster a scene instead of like one man for himself. And it's also interesting in producing um for myself, now producing for other artists, like my project has always been like my project, and I um love people, and I haven't been able to like play with other people really, because whenever I would play my shows, we have like a really fun show. We play with like an 8-piece band with a horn section,
The
which is
Bone
really fun.
Zone.
The Bone Zone, you know about the Bone
I
Zone?
know about the Bone Zone.
Hell yeah, dude.
I
The
saw it
Bone
on your
Zone's
website.
awesome. Yeah, dude, awesome. I love those dudes. And like, we play my songs, but like it's never been like a collaborative thing, and that's partly because it's like my project, my songs,
Right, right.
whatever. But I've always had an instinct to like want to like work with people and help and play. Like I just want to play and like have fun. And in like learning how to produce, like now working with like a couple artists, I'm like learning how to like marry my like love for people and my love for music and actually just like have fun again. That's like the main thing I'm experiencing right now, is that music can be really fun. It doesn't have to be painful all the time, but also there's still work to be done, which is what I'm like. Now I'm excited about that. I'm excited about like getting in, going back into a session and like tweaking for a long time and like actually getting in the weeds and making decisions. But the like initial creation process is like just one of the most fun things in the freaking world. I wish I could like show you all this stuff. I'm also gonna start just putting shit out
Do
way
it.
more
Yes.
frequently. I
Yes.
think. I think I'm literally just gonna finish stuff. I think I'm gonna mix it myself.
Cool.
Which was something, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many things that like in music you feel like you have to like have a bunch of like prerequisites to do, or like you know what I mean? Like you have to like earn your stripes before you can call yourself something, but like nobody knows anything, and
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter, and like as long as like it is dope to you, that is the only thing that matters like on this planet. Like
Yeah.
that is literally the only thing that matters.
Absolutely. I remember learning that lesson a while back and then having to relearn it over and over and over again. Because that's a kind
Yeah.
of thing that you think, oh, once you've learned, I mean, in music in general, I feel like there's been many times where I've learned something and been like changed by it radically, at
Yeah.
least in my head. And then like a year or two later, I realize, oh, I haven't been following that principle or whatever thing I learned. Like you just kind of forget about it. And you end up in the same position. You kind of have to keep relearning the same thing over and over again. Like how
Yeah.
fun this can be, how you don't need to always worry about the numbers of everything. And then, you swing back the other way and you do worry about the numbers and you aren't focused on the music side of it. And it's like, it's hard to stay in the lane the whole time.
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense because, geez, sorry, this guy's buzzing.
Oh, you're good.
I don't know. It's easy to think of artists as just, you know, artists, but we're like humans and we're stupid and we forget things all the time and we have to relearn things just like everyone else. Like we're not exempt from those struggles. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I literally like I had a conversation with like a really good friend of mine recently where I was telling him all this shit and being like, it's been really hard. And he's been like, me too, bro. Like I'm in a dead end job and I hate my job and I want to be successful and I want to be like feeling purpose, and like
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely purposeless. Like you're not alone. And that's like also like part of the part of what I feel like I'm talking about, like the pain and the struggle of it. It's really easy to like feel isolated and feel like you're the only one on earth experiencing all this pain, and like it's universal and it's okay and everyone goes through it. And like honestly, like you have to be grateful for it. You have to be grateful to like have the opportunity to like actually learn something and learn the lessons, or else you're just gonna be like a, you know, whirling dervish of stupid going out there and messing everything up and not actually learning anything.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I like yeah, expectations. I literally like the first song I ever put out has 3 million streams, and I literally like have wrestled with like, oh, sweet, this is gonna happen every time now,
Right,
and
right.
like, and no, and that song is like, it's a good song, but it's like not an accurate reflection of like who I am as an artist. So I, you know, whatever, struggle
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
a weird internal struggle
Yeah,
when something like really pops off and then you're like, "Oh, but that was such a one-off thing for me."
it was literally the first thing I ever put out, and
That's
that whole,
crazy. I
yeah, it was
can't even
weird.
imagine.
It was weird, and also like people like, I feel like, you know, what's it like? And I'm like,
Mhm.
it's the same.
You're like,
Like
I'm a completely new person."
I'm the same guy and I have the same problems all the time. Like, and even when it like had a million streams, I was like, oh sweet, this is where I feel like all the big bucks start to roll in, and like
Uh-huh.
this is where people start hopping on board. And it's like, nope, get back in there. Go
So
learn more.
what would somebody think would be pretty different after reaching a milestone like a million streams? That is just not true.
I don't know. I think I just expected like I don't know, like industry support or something. But
Okay.
like there's like a million songs with a million streams, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I don't know. I think I also expected like all of the songs to receive some kind of attention, but then you realize you're at the mercy of either like a human at Spotify pushing a button to playlist you, or an algorithm that just goes, yeah, okay. And then just like, you know, which is like very terrifying, but also like kind of comforting because it's like, oh, it's not up to me. I literally can't even do anything about this.
Yeah, it is a
Like,
bit of a dude. Yeah, that's true. It's weird swinging pendulum going from like complete uh I have control and I can choose my own output and all that stuff, and then the other side is complete nihilism of like whatever I do, who knows, I might as well just enjoy the moment. And I feel like both of those are true to a degree.
I think like the real truth, and doesn't have to be the truth for everyone, but I think what I think is like actually the only thing that you can control at all is your input,
Mhm.
even for your art. Like if you're really following your intuition and like just discovering and like playing, all you can follow is that intuition, and whatever it becomes is just whatever, you know, it's just like whatever happened. That's in my mind how I've like um at least started to think for this new stuff. Is it's a lot less of a, I want to make like releasing the grip and being like, I want to make something that's like this, and just
Mhm.
letting myself like flow creatively, and then just being like, this is what I made, deal with it. I like it, you
Standing
know.
by it.
Yeah, but I don't know, I think that's like the healthiest way to do it, um in my experience, in my experience.
Yeah.
Just like, because like putting expectations on the art to, I don't know, even like sound a certain way or like do a certain thing, it's like, I don't, it's kind of like unfair. I don't know. And it just sets everything up to have like expectations, and like, I don't know. I've just gotten burned by having so many expectations. Maybe I'm just like going to the extreme of just being like, you can have zero, Bedon. You are allowed to have zero expectations across the board. And I still have expectations and I still struggle with it. Because I'm a stupid human. But
Well, I don't think it's bad to have expectations. It's just being comfortable with knowing that that's going to maybe not look like the way you want it to. And then it could just be that goal, which is maybe up here, getting there could be a straight line, but it's not. It's a curvy line, and you go everywhere that you didn't need to go to get there. And it's just kind of how it happens sometimes.
sure, goals are like, maybe we're splitting hairs at that point, but goals are fine. Expectations to me are just like, it's just where it gets, that's where your heart gets like all twisted up. And it's just like
Yeah.
there's just too much potential for pain involving your art, which is supposed to be a beautiful thing. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, get it out, eradicate it, and
What's
just
what's the feeling right now, having put out a sophomore album, compared to maybe how you felt when you released your debut? Can you recall that feeling from a couple years ago?
yeah, dude. I was just like, I really didn't have that many expectations, I guess, with the first one. But after releasing the first one, I had all the expectations in the world of like the sophomore album, and like
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I made a pretty good album with the first one, but I wanted to like destroy it with the second one, which definitely felt like we accomplished. Um, I really, really, really love this album. I'm really proud of it. But I don't know. It's definitely like, that's typically when an artist has like a pretty big like shot up in growth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that happened, but also like I felt like I was expecting it to like bring me something. And I'm like just coming to terms with the fact that it's just a piece of music and I love it and I hope that other people love it. And that is all I can expect from it.
Yeah,
So
when you boil it down, that really is all it is. Something that can maybe bring you some joy in the creation and being able to listen back to it and
yeah.
hoping that other people can also take something out of it.
And it's a moment in time of where I was as an artist, and I'm proud of that moment, and I'm ready to show new moments. So that's kind of just like where I'm at with it. I don't want to like walk away from this album being bitter or something, and like, I don't know. I really I really do love it. Like I really am proud of this album. And yeah, what'd you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I got to listen to the whole thing this morning right before we hopped on this interview here. And
Nice.
I still think maybe it's just because it's first listen, but the title track is probably my favorite.
Dude, hell
Um,
yeah.
I
I love
just,
that song.
yeah, the way, like, I guess it's the chorus. Just all the bass and the guitar, like, perfectly are doing the same thing while the drums just keeping a steady beat. Gives me like kind of a Walk the Moon pop rock vibe.
Right.
And
Heck yeah.
yeah, I mean the whole album has that feeling, and I like that you included some interlude tracks with like the voicemails.
Yeah.
And I also I love the last song, but I especially love the name. Well,
Guess how much
it's
I love you.
yeah, I guess how much I love you. That's just such a like a wholesome title
Yeah, dude.
track.
She my wife, Caroline. Still getting used to saying that. But when so that whole album is like basically like we started dating, and then COVID hit, and then I moved to Nashville, and then we had a year of long distance dating.
Oh
And
wow.
then, the initial that's why it's all like separated in parts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's four parts to the album. This is the whole thesis and conceptual portion of the album. Um, but you have four parts. Part one is basically like, I am in Oxford. I am single and lonely and sad and frustrated. Then
Mm-hmm.
I see her at a party, which is Woah. I've known her like pretty much my whole life, and we've always been friends, and it's been a whole complicated thing. And then I finally have like a reckoning of like, you need to do something about this and you need to like find out if this is actually a thing. And I think I knew if I was gonna like ask her out, that if it went well, I was probably gonna marry her. Which sounds kind of crazy, but I
Whoa.
just I just knew
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
because I just knew it in my bones. And dope that it worked because I can say, you know, called my shot or whatever. But Woah,
Yeah.
that Woah Reckoning song, that like second half of Woah, that is the like, oh my God, I need to figure this out. Then I
Yeah.
call her, you hear the theme again. Then you got Arizona, Daylight, which is like the we've started dating and everything is lovely and sick and awesome. Daydream, which is like the start of like, oh, there's work here. Not
Mm-hmm.
everything is like rosy and perfect. Then I move away. Then long distance call. Then things get really hard on Jefferson Street. Then Daylight's theme plays,
Mm-hmm.
which, if you catch it, um, there's four parts to that piece, whatever. And there's also like the end of Jefferson Street, which has this like reverse thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is like thematically the reversing of the entire album back to the front.
Ooh.
Then you hear the first like section of Daylight's theme, which is supposed to be the first part of the album, which is like all sad and depressing. Then it morphs and blooms into the second part, which is beautiful and wonderful, playing the theme. Then the third part, strings come in. Oh, it's sad again, longing. Then it like chokes, which is where you are actually in the story. And it's supposed to
You
be
are
like,
here.
yes, that's like the moment where it's like, all right, we're here. What happens? And then it goes, it's basically like, is it worth it? And then it goes, and then it like goes into that fourth part, which is, yes, it is. and then, and
Whoa.
then, uh, guess how much I love you is like the, you know, you get the voicemail of me driving to Oxford,
Right.
and I'm like, hey,
You should
there's
probably order
probably
the
a
pizza.
Pizza Den in Oxford.
Shout
It's
out
a
to the pizza den.
yes. You don't even get the pizza there. You get the sandwiches and you get the roast beef, and it's one of my
Whoa.
favorite sandwiches on earth. It's so good. So that was a little Easter egg for all the Oxford people who know that I love pizza Den. I ate so much pizza Den, dude. It's crazy. Anyway,
That's incredible.
that's like the end of the movie or whatever, and then guess how
Mm-hmm.
much I love you is like the credits.
Very cool.
And we recorded that. Me and Isaiah. I took Isaiah to Oxford. He's from like Boston, or he's from Chicago, but he went to Berkeley, and he had never even like been to the South. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I took him to Oxford, and we ate pizza den. We ate fried catfish. He'd never had fried catfish in his life, and I was just like,
Huge. A
"Yeah,
huge
dude."
moment. What did you
At
think?
oh, dude, he loved it. He loved all the
Of
food in
course.
Oxford. Oxford's like Oxford. Oxford's sick, man. It's such a charming place, and
I've never
I,
been.
dude, it's really cool. I think if you live in Athens, I feel like Oxford and Athens have a little bit of each other, and
Because Oxford is
just
where
like
SMU
soul.
is?
No, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. That's what I
Yeah, yeah,
meant.
yeah.
Yeah.
SMU's in Dallas, but
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. I was way
yeah,
off.
you're good. But I don't know. When I visited Athens, I was like, oh, that's like the other dopest town, college town. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Athens rules.
Probably the dopest. But they kind of both have like some really cool stuff going on, and like we had like an incredible music scene while we were at Ole Miss. Anyway, so the yeah, I took them to Oxford, and we recorded all the horns and all the strings in this old chapel in Taylor, Mississippi that these people let us like use. And I'm posting on Instagram later, but there you'll see the chapel. But like, dude, it's
Cool.
like if you could like go there and just like clap, it's like 6 seconds of like God reverb. It's like
God tier reverb.
it's so good. So we did Guess How Much I Love You one take in the chapel. Um, and Isaiah was like laying on one of the pews, and then we did like a couple overdubs. Like the bass is like a guitar that's just pitched down an octave. His
Oh, well.
his Martin 50 57 Martin D18. It's like one of the best guitars I've ever played in my life.
Yeah. Whoa.
Uh, and then the like stomp and clap is me and him stomping on the like stage that is like this far off the ground. Uh, in the chapel, like stomping and clapping and slapping our legs. So that whole song was just recorded in that space, which is really special.
Whoa. It does
And I,
feel a little different than the rest of the
yeah,
songs, too.
yeah. Like I think, and it's such a like folksy little love song. Oh, here's the point. So Caroline, when I moved, we were like,
Caroline's your wife, I'm guessing.
yes,
Okay.
yes. When I moved, she packed me up or whatever, and she gave me the children's book, Guess How Much I Love You, which I think is right over there, actually.
Oh.
Uh, do you know that book?
I feel like I've heard of it. Yeah, but
It's like
I was never read that book as a
it's a
child.
really sweet book, but it's like a couple of rabbits, and they're like, "Guess how much I love you? I love you like this much," and like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like super sweet. And I was crying
Oh.
driving from Oxford to Nashville, and I just like literally I had read the book and like tear stained it, which is ridiculous. And then I just like pulled out my uh voice memos and just wrote that song instantly with nothing other than my voice because it feels like a little like guess how much I love you. It's just like a little
Yeah.
like folksy lullaby, like, and it just kind of like came out of me. And then I was like, oh, sweet, I got that song. So
Whoa.
that, yeah, it was just like literally just like, when you're just kind of like bestowed something
Mm-hmm. That's the
musically.
best.
It was just like an entire song. I didn't even tweak anything. It was just like, there it is. There's the song. Um, and it's just like, I dedicate this album to my wife, Caroline, by the way, uh, which I'm posting about today.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, dude, that song just like literally it just came out of me. It was crazy. And then another funny thing is that all those voicemails are like through my car Bluetooth. And I actually did record that last one like on Highway 7, 30
Oh.
minutes from Oxford, and I needed to order pizza din. Like that actually is true, even though they're not like actual voicemails. They're little voice memos where I'm
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
acting like I'm calling her.
Right,
Uh,
right.
but that last one's more true than the others, which is
That's cool
funny.
to implement those little things in there. It feels just like an extra bit of world building.
Yeah, I the main conceptual inspiration for this album was To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, and his reading of the poem,
Yeah.
like
Potentially one of the best of all time, that
probably the
album.
best album ever made. It's
Yeah.
insane. But anyway, I was so late to that party also, and I
Oh,
listened
really?
to it. Yeah, I listened to it like during all of the George Floyd stuff, which was like made
Mm.
it hit like 8 million times harder, and it was
Yeah,
just
of
like
course.
blew my mind. But the like, I just really liked. I was like obsessed with the concept of this album that I was making, but I really liked the idea of how he has that ever evolving
Mm-hmm.
poem that every time he reads you and leaves you at a line, it's placing you somewhere and it's
Yeah.
giving you like perspective to listen to these next song or two or whatever. So the idea of the voicemails was to be like, you are here, you are here, you are here. Like just like actually like orient the listener. Also give them a break because a lot of the like songs are like if you listen to all of it back to back to back to back to back, it's just like you know what I mean? Like it's a lot and it's like a lot of emotions and it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of nice to have like a little like all right,
Like a
shut up.
third person narrator perspective
Yeah,
kind of
and
coming
just
in.
yeah, and just be like, all right, chill out for a sec. I know that was a lot. I know I have a lot of
Yeah.
emotions, and we're back.
Yeah, they're nice
So
little like musical dividers.
Yeah, which I really like. And I literally, dude, I worked on the concept of this album like more than anything, probably. I would just like go in my car, and this is this is what I would do. I would literally just like hit record on a voice memo and talk for like 50 minutes and like just explain it to no one.
Hmm.
And like just to to get the ideas out and to make it real, I would literally just like sit there in my car and like on a road trip. If no one was in my car, I would literally just like defend it and like give all of like why it works and like basically like give a thesis on my album, like in my car all the time. I would just do that, which is weird. But it made it like real and it made me like take the concept of it seriously. Um, and that's like one of the things I'm most proud of how this album works conceptually. I think it's really dope. And I don't know. I love conceptual albums. I'm not like obsessed with like I didn't want it to be like exclusive to the concept, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like cuz when that happens it's like I don't know, I just don't really care. But
You mean when
just
songs
like
are
you have to know the
specifically
concept
okay?
to
Yes.
even
Yeah. Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it, and it's like if it's just serving the concept, and if you listen to it and the more you listen to it the more that you understand how it's working in the like greater part of the story, um that's sick. But you could also just listen to the songs
Right.
like on their own, and
Right.
that was the idea here. But yeah, dude, I forget what else. I have such crazy ADHD. You can probably tell. I'm always just
No,
like
you're all good, dude. I
hopping
appreciate you
around.
like getting into the details of how you made such a clearly well thought out album. It's clearly more than just pop songs. Like you have a whole world that you've built here, which I think is really insane and incredible. It's hard for me to really
Sick, dude.
grasp being able to do that. I'm taking
Hell
things
yeah.
one song at a time.
Dude, I listened
Uh,
to your song. I liked it. I
oh,
like
thanks, man.
is there kazoo in there?
There's kazoo in there.
I
Yes,
liked the kazoo. The kazoo
it's
came on and I laughed in a good way. You know when
yeah,
you like you laugh when you're listening to something because
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
it means you like it.
yeah,
Like
dude. There was a
I like the
moment.
kazoo.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the kazoo was a bit of a bold choice, and we're like, let's see how it is, and we did it. And as soon as I played it, I was like, absolutely not. We're not doing this. And my producer Patrick was like, let's record a couple takes. We'll see what happens. And then he like EQ'd it and just kind of fit it in the mix a little bit better. And I was like, okay, this
It's
sounds
sick,
better.
dude. Why
Thank
not?
you.
Like,
Yeah, when it was dry, it was like ear piercing.
oh, I
So
bet.
so we
Yeah.
had to, cover it up, mix it in a little bit. And now it sounds good. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dude,
cool.
it's
It kind
tight.
of like it elicited that reaction because that's kind of what I was hoping for.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I think anyone likes to hear anything new all the time.
Yeah,
So
something
like,
like just something to throw you off a little bit. I feel like Paul McCartney would do that a whole lot in
yeah,
his early albums when he like Ram and stuff like that. I
yeah,
was really looking to that for the ideas of like how do we take just like a pop song and make it a little extra silly but not like dismissive, I guess.
yeah, sure, yeah.
And yeah, we're like, let's throw kazoo on, let's see what happens. And
Nice, dude.
there was a one part in one of your songs that literally made me out loud go, "Oh, nice!"
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find it. It was a guitar lick. It was like just one little guitar lick that came at the end of a chorus or something.
Yeah, it was probably Arizona.
I think
That
it
little.
was. Yeah, because yeah, that's what it was. Because it
Yeah,
was like harmony with
yeah,
something else.
that's Matt.
That was
Matt
sick.
Simpson. Matt Simpson, who used to be in my band, and I lived with him for 2 years, I guess. And he is a phenomenal, like kind of ambient, crazy artist called Jacuzzi Suite. Everybody check
It's
him
a
out.
cool name.
And
Yeah.
it is sick. And I just co-produced a lot of his new EP that he's going to be putting out with him, and it is insane and
Cool.
some of the most fun I've ever had with someone in a studio. And we just had like such a good time and just like got in the weeds of his music and just like made it sound really good. It's
Hell
so
yeah.
sick. I'm super
Jacuzzi
stoked.
suite?
Yeah, it'll be coming. I have no idea when it's coming out, but it's so sick. And he is a freak. And yes, and he's also like beyond being like a psycho, like electronic ambient artist. He's also like a classically trained shredding guitarist. He's like the
Of
most
course.
insane guitar player ever. And he wrote, shout out to Matt, he wrote the theme, like that piece
Oh, yeah.
that he was playing that. I didn't have anything for that. I was gonna find something, but he was playing that at some like rehearsal that we were doing, just like on the guitar, and I was just like, dude, what is that? I love that. And he's like, oh, that's some. And I was like,
I was just messing around.
can I please have that? And he was like, yeah, fine. And
It's
let
like
me
not a
use
big
it.
deal to him.
And he's got it probably was a big deal to him because it's a beautiful piece and it was a very like humble thing for him to just like let me use that. And um Matt's the man. But it's so pretty and I just like loved it and it felt like perfect to be like the candidate for this like theme. I always wanted to have like a theme that played throughout the album.
Yeah.
And it was just like a perfect fit for like that. But yeah, his guitar playing on the album, he plays a lot on oh, what is
You hear
that?
that?
Yeah, what was it?
It's somebody with their subwoofer in their car outside of my house.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know if you'd be
Um
able to hear that, so maybe the audience did too. Sorry.
Dang, it's okay, guys. It's
Just a little
seriously
bass,
okay.
just a little sub bass.
Just a little bass. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, chill, chill.
Chill out, guys. Seriously, come back. All right. Anyway, um, I forget what I was saying. Um,
Talking about
but
Matt crushing it on guitar.
yeah, that like little lick he did on Arizona. I think all of us like in the studio were just like, oh god, that was insane. It was so nice, and like he just like yeah, every single bit of playing he did on that was so nice. He did a lot on long distance call, all the slide guitars. He doesn't even play slide. Like
Of course.
he can just like whip out anything
That's
and
awesome.
make it work. But yeah, he's a phenom. Everybody who played on the record is so good. Andrew Gardner, shout out to Andrew Gardner. He did all the strings on the record and did them in that chapel.
Whoa.
Dude, he plays in a band called Happy Landing. They're homies. A bunch of my homies are in that band. And he plays fiddle for them, and he's just an unbelievable musician, just phenom. Uh, but he did like so much beautiful work on this album. Like all the strings on Daydream, I think are just like insane. And like that was something that was cool and collaborative about this process is that I did let people in a lot more than normal. And like I I opened up in a lot of ways, but also like the ways in which I like collaborated are like nothing compared to the like amount of like possible collaboration that there is
Mm,
in the world of music.
right, right.
And even in the way that I've been collaborating the last 6 months. So but that was a big step for me and it probably, had to deal with that's why I like look at this album and like the entire experience like with gratitude is because it brought me here and it not bringing me those expectations forced me to get in the freaking studio and find something new and that is why I am like most grateful for this process and all the pain and frustration and uh not meeting of expectations is because it's forcing me to make what I think is by far the coolest shit I've ever made. And I cannot wait to put all this new stuff out. It's genuinely like it is such a different vibe. Uh, I think it's just like a genuine lane switch,
Hell
and
yeah.
I am stoked to do it. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just I constantly constantly want to try to reinvent myself. I am constantly trying to do something new. Even with this album, like this new one, I got to find something new to do on the next one. I have to change. I I have to grow, and if I'm not, call me out because I just I need it, you know. And
Hmm.
I like when I'm a fan of an artist, like that is the only thing that I like. I don't know. I can love the music and like love the songs and like, but if the artist isn't like constantly changing and growing, I'm like, why do I care? Like even
Yeah.
this sounds this might be a hot take, but I was watching the new I Think You Should Leave and I was
Hmm.
just like, okay, more of the
Same thing.
same. More
Yeah.
of the same. Cool. I get it. Whatever. Turn it off. There's a million things like vying for all of our attention at the same time. It's like, why would I like go back to something that's going to give me the same thing over and over again? Like, just like challenge me or give me something new or like freak me out. Like, I
Yeah.
just,
I feel that
and
way for sure. If an artist I love puts out an album that just feels like another of the same thing they already did, I'm not as interested. That's how I felt about Boy Pablo. I don't know if you ever listened to him much.
I listened to him, you know, whatever, like a
Yeah.
couple times and I felt like I got the vibe.
I loved his
It's cool.
first EP. It came out in
Yeah.
like 2018, 2019, and loved it, was obsessed. And then the next few things he put out were just like different versions of that. And I was like, okay, all right,
So
what's
that
new?
yeah, that genre or whatever, bedroom pop,
Right.
whatever. Another artist who came from that, who deeply admire, is Clairo.
Mm-hmm.
And her sling record is such a depart. Even Immunity is
Right.
like a
Yeah.
pretty
She's
big
changed a whole
departure
lot.
from the. Yeah, but like I just like that growth is sick. I think a lot of people kind of like didn't really listen to sling that much.
Yeah. I
But like,
honestly didn't really.
dude, Caroline loves it, and we have it on vinyl. Do you know about vinyl?
No, I've never heard of it. I'm only listening to
LOL.
8 tracks.
LOL.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we have it on vinyl and it's such a beautiful, incredibly well written, gorgeous like album. It's just like beautiful. And um, I don't know. I just like not that it matters, but I got some genuine respect for Clara as an artist, which is like she could have very easily like continued to do kind of the same thing. And I love Immunity too. I think that's a really good album. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love
Yeah,
Bags. That song's awesome.
it's a great song. It's a great
Alewife
song.
is really good.
Alewife's so dope. Um, yeah, didn't think we'd be talking about Clara, but I love
I know.
Clara.
Now I want to go back and listen to her. There's like a live performance of Bags I just watched the other day.
Yeah, it's sick.
And the one in like where everybody's in the studio space.
Yeah, yeah,
So cool.
it is cool. It sounds really good. And I'm going to see her for like that reset concert thing that's going
Oh,
around.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to see LCD Sound System.
Oh, you wanted to
Uh,
go that day. I wanted to go to the Steve Lacy, James
I
Blake.
love Steve Lacy, dude. I
Yeah,
love
he's
Gemini Rights too. I think that's a really, really, really good album. And
I
I
think that
still
was my
love,
most listened to album last year.
dude, I still love it's such a it got so overblown, but
Bad Habit.
Bad Habit is such a good song. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
such a
great, dude.
dope song to like reach number one, like
Yeah, yeah.
in the United States. Like it's such a like it's got like two parts and it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's it's like it's only so like consumable for the front and that like just hook, but it's so simple and it's like I love Steve Lacy. I love that album. I think he's so good. But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, but I'm going to the Boy Genius Claro
Cool.
Dijon. Dijon
Dijon is
is
awesome. I saw him open up
yeah,
for Bon Iver.
I should have seen that. I'm a huge fan of that album.
Oh,
Everybody
of
is.
which one? The
Uh,
Dijon album?
yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Um
You like
everybody.
McGee?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Museum
fucking
of
awesome.
Contradiction is so sick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Museum of a Contradiction, I feel like doesn't get as much shine as the pronounced McGee, but I listen to that one all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, dude, I work at a brewery and I'm always DJing and I honestly like I don't even listen to music anymore like outside of work because I just listen to so much freaking music at work.
Hmm.
But I listened to that McGee album like a lot at work just because it's like so like I put it on when I was closing and like everybody I don't know, I just like seeing like reactions when you put something on and like
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
the other people closing or mopping or like
They're
they're
like,
like
ooh,
vibing and bopping their
the
head.
one with vegan comes
Um
on, and they're like,
yeah,
interesting.
I like CZ a lot. I'm
CZ is
obsessed,
sick.
obsessed
Western.
with that synth sound. Dude, don't you what's the thing you do where you like uh you normally have like an album pick or something?
Oh yeah, so I haven't done it. I never did it on Zoom. But then
Yeah.
I started bringing people over to the house
And
to
they
do
would
it.
bring a physical record.
So I just have a record collection. So I'm like, here, look through the record collection, pick one that you like. We'll
Cool.
talk about it. So it's kind of cool because they get to look at what I like, and then we talk about something
Talk
that
about it.
that we both agree on is really sick.
That's sick. Can I plug an album?
Yeah, do it.
All
Maybe
right.
I have it. We'll see.
It's Slide by George Clanton. You know
Oh,
George
dude,
Clanton?
love that album. Yeah, I don't
It's
have it on vinyl,
so
but
good. It's so good. I'm
yeah,
obsessed with him right
that
now.
was a
And he's
revolutionary moment for me when I listened to that.
dude, it's so good. I'm obsessed with him right now.
You like the
And
new two songs?
yes,
Me
I've been
too.
young. Dude, I played I've been young at my wedding.
Oh,
And
so you literally like just got married.
yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
Wow, dude. Yeah,
Three or
big
4 weeks
congrats.
ago.
That's
Thanks,
awesome.
bro. It was so fun. And it was like literally the most perfect day of all time. It was so sick. Um,
That's awesome.
but yeah, I like there was like a break between the band that was playing and like I was like, give me your phone, I want to DJ. And I played like Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado. And I played
And then I've Been Young by
I've
George
Been
Clinton.
Young by George Clanton and then All My Friends by LCD Sound System. And it was a freaking
Those
dance
are great.
party.
That's a
It
great trio.
it was sick, dude. Everybody was dancing. I loved it. It was so fun. But I love I've Been Young. I've been like obsessed with that song for so long. And the video is
Yeah,
so sick. It's
dude.
so sick. And that freaking guy who's like, ladies and gentlemen,
Uh
George
huh.
Clanton. Like it's just
Dude,
such a
he nailed the Y2K vibe.
oh yeah. I know they're like he's totally wearing that on his sleeve, but it's like it's still so
Uh
funny.
huh.
And
Even
like
the album cover for the new song. What's it called? What's the new
Justify Your Life.
Justify Your Life? It's so
Yeah,
like Justin Timberlake.
yeah, it's sick. It's sick. I love all the aesthetic for all that.
Agreed.
Yeah,
But
not
dude,
to.
we've been going a while, and we still got to do the last five. So
Oh,
let's jump
hell
into
yeah,
that little section here, and then
yeah,
we'll wrap it up. How about that?
yeah, dude, for sure.
All right, cool. So for number one, first question: in the
Hmm.
studio or playing live?
You know, I think my best like gift has always been performing. Um, that's for sure. Like my most natural state is to
Hmm.
be on a stage and perform. Um, but right now, I'm gonna say in the studio.
Cool.
Just because it is only making me have like a deeper appreciation for performing live and like also I don't know, I used to like I started looking at shows as like this has to, you know, bring me some kind of opportunity if I play this show, like we got to like get some people there. And I'm
Hmm.
just like, dude, F that. Like
Have fun.
I just want to make songs that I just can't wait to perform and like that's what I'm doing right now. So in the studio, in the stew right now,
In the stewed.
my stinky basement studio that I have.
Whatever
I
gets the
literally
job
built
done.
these walls, dude. There
Whoa,
were not walls there. I built them with my friend Alex Drummond, who is in Zoo Culture, who's a super dope dude.
that name sounds familiar. It's a
Yeah,
cool band name.
yeah, he's the man. He's really, really cool. But yeah, we literally built these walls. They were just like studs up, and we finished it out.
That's
And this,
incredible.
like, dude, it's so sick. I'm obsessed with it. I love this space. I've never had anything other than my bedroom too. So I literally have like my monitors are on like cinder blocks and like
Uh-huh.
they're off the desk, and now I have bass, which is like
Yeah, you're like,
insane.
whoa, holy shit, this is a new world.
Yeah, and I have like two tape machines, which is super exciting.
That
And I
is
got a
cool.
bunch of like dinky synthesizers from the 80s.
Always necessary.
Yes. Sorry, I'm rambling. All right,
No,
go to
you're
the next
good.
question.
In this dude, that would be my answer personally as well, as much as I have enjoyed playing live recently. But number two, what do you think is a perfect album front to back?
Hmm.
And you can name a couple.
All right, here's a couple. One I played at work recently that I was obsessed with for a while, but then didn't listen to for a while. Uh, You Forgot It in People, Broken Social Scene.
What album cover is that one?
It's like the gray one with like it's just writing. It's like You Forgot It in People.
Okay, I think I remember that.
My
I uh,
homie,
I don't know them a whole lot. I know
dude.
7-4. I know that song.
Yeah, so good.
That song rules.
Broken Social Scene. Um, my homie Ryan, who plays drums for me, and also like he helped me write Woah and like help produce some of the stuff, and like he's gonna help me um finish up some of this new stuff. He's a freak, and he's probably gonna do something really amazing at some point
Hmm.
soon, hopefully for himself. But Ryan's the man. He showed me this album. It's just so good. It's
I need to
just
really give it a,
so
a good listen.
so good, man. And it's just like I have like still like a really big love for just straight up rock music. And I really I'm not gonna say too much, but I really want to start like a little I want to start like a million side projects, but
Hmm.
I want to
Yeah.
start some kind of band side project, and I'm already like messing around making some stuff with some friends, and that's really
Oh,
fun.
cool.
But You Forgot It in People, Broken Social Scene, so good. So good. Um Perfect album is the question.
Hmm.
I'll give two
Front to
more.
back.
I would say To Pimp a Butterfly is perfect.
Yeah.
Um, I would also say, I think, hmm, I think I'd reach for that Dijon album, but I don't think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like
I I
it's
agree.
really
It's
good, but also
close.
like perfect is kind of, whatever. Who are
Hmm.
we to say? I don't know anything.
Right, right.
Um,
To
but
me, that question is what's an album that you don't skip a single song?
I might skip a couple on that.
Yeah, me too.
Like one or
You
two.
know what's
But
funny
the
though?
ones that I love, I really, really love on the
With for
album.
the Dijon album, I always start on the second track. I always skip Big Mike's.
Dude, Big Mike's is like maybe the best track.
I know everybody, and
It's
I really
so good.
like it, but
You
it's
like
like,
scratching more?
oh yeah, I wish
Damn.
scratching was the first track because
It
to
is
me,
such a
Big
good
Mike's is
intro.
cool, but it's like it's the same progression for like 4 minutes,
I just
and I
love how
get it's a cool build up
I
and all
love the
that.
growth. I love the dynamic growth of
I
that.
like watching the video
The video is
where
so
it's
good.
like 7 minutes of them just having fun. Like that's cool.
I
But
love it.
I love that so much it doesn't translate as much to me when I listen to it. Like I want to
Yeah.
watch the video. So that's why I start with scratching.
Damn. All right. Well, I'll just stick with my Broken Social Scene take. That'll be
Nice.
the take. I don't have to have more than one.
Cool. So question number 3 is who would be your dream artist and or producer to work with?
Oh, here's one for perfect album. That Howdy record. True
Which one?
Love. True Love.
You know,
Sorry.
that's I don't know that one as much. I know the one before that.
Nice.
Heavy Lifter,
Yeah.
I think.
I
I
haven't
just
really listened to that one that much. I was late to the party on them, but
I must have come in on a weird one because I know people really loved stuff before Heavy Lifter, and then everybody loved True Love, and the one I liked was like the one in the middle,
yeah,
um, and then that song Ruby, you know that one?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's so
dude, that's
fun,
my favorite. I love that song.
dude. They're yeah, that album. I think that album is it is a very subtle, like
Yeah.
perfect type of thing. It's not like in your face, but it's just like so beautiful and so sweet. And like, I love all the lyrics on there. And it's just like, it's such a like, I don't know. They just have such a like sweet, genuine emotion that I like really,
Mm-hmm.
really love. And like the production's so good. Um, anyway, dream artist to collaborate with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I would love to collaborate with like Tyler the Creator.
Oh, whoa. Yeah,
I would love to collaborate with Tyler the Creator. I would also, I would have said Justin Vernon
of
for
course.
a while. I think Tyler the Creator. I really, really, really want to produce for a rapper and make an album with a rapper at some point in my career. Um, with Matt too. I want us to like collab, tag team a rap record with a really, really adventurous rap artist.
That would be sick.
Not just like make beats. Like I want to make like a whole album and make it like
Mm-hmm.
so insanely dope. That's what I want to do. So yeah,
With Tyler,
Tyler.
the Creator.
Yeah, but he doesn't need me at all.
one
I don't know. I just
one
love
of these
his like.
days, you never know.
I just love his intuition, and I love like. I just think he's amazing. I would also
Yeah,
just like to learn from him, and just like watch him play. That's what I would like to do.
yeah. He's a genius.
Yes,
Like
I.
not a quiet genius. I wouldn't say he's quiet, but I don't know how many. Like I think he'll be studied in like 20, 30 years, like in music history class and stuff.
Yeah, Igor and Flower Boy might be perfect albums. I
Mm-hmm.
really liked Call Me If
And
You
the
Get
new one
Lost
is
too.
pretty
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
it was really good. It's kind of goes to show that it's like really hard to be like a. It's really hard to have like a moment because it's like I don't know. Even like Kendrick's new album, which I thought was amazing, it was
Yeah.
like Kendrick's Kendrick's album's out. Ah, and then it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, cool. What's next? Like, there's just like a, you know what I mean? It's like really hard for I feel like artists to have like those like huge, massive like moments as much. Even like the biggest artists in the world, it's just like
Yeah.
everything's just always flashing, and it's like it's weird to see what sticks. But I still go
Mm-hmm.
back to Igor and Flower Boy, like still constantly. I love those
Right.
bands.
Cool,
But
man. Well, question number 4 is what's on your musical rotation right now?
somebody was calling me.
Oh, you're good.
Um, all right, one sec. Let me pull up the dang phone.
Yeah, pull up the Spotify.
Oh, yeah. I've been ODing on George Clanton. I've been
Nice.
listening to the new Water from Your Eyes, which is really cool.
Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah, dude,
I
they're
am
sick.
obsessed with that record and I'm
It's
trying to
really
get people
cool.
onto them.
Dude, it's sick. They're coming to Nashville and they're playing Dark Matter like this
Dude,
summer.
they're
I think
coming to
this month.
Athens as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy show.
I know. I'm so hyped.
I am liking that album a lot. I really like the dude in it has a project called This Is Lorelei,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he's got an EP. It's like the only thing I've really gone through and listened to him, but it's called EP number 31.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 4 songs. So good.
Okay,
So
I'll
good.
check that out
Dude,
because I
listen to
saw that
that.
they both had their own projects, but didn't really listen to much.
Dude, there's a oh, what was I gonna say?
I can't believe you just brought them up. I feel like I've been alone listening
Yeah,
to them
dude,
and
they
nobody
are
knows who they are. And I'm like, these guys are changing music right now.
they're sick. I also am late to the party, but just started listening to the new well, I guess it's when did it come out? Oh, it's like pretty brand new. The Indigo D'Souza record.
Yeah, I'm late to that because I have never really listened to her a whole lot.
I like how whiny she is. I just like her like whiny ass voice.
Uh
It's
huh.
sick. And I also just like there's some sick like tones on it. Um yeah, I like that album a lot. I'm trying to think what else. I really like the new Caroline Polachek record.
Yeah.
Dude, she is so sick. And
Yeah, she's awesome.
just kind of like also late to the party on her at all, but checking her out.
Mm-hmm.
Chairlift wasn't the thing she was in before?
I don't know.
I think she was. Maybe I'm wrong.
Chairlift? Is that a band?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like the project she was in before, but she's like older. She's like 30 something. But
Hmm.
she's sick. I admire her. I watched one of her interviews recently and really liked hearing her perspective. Yeah, and George Clanton.
George Clinton. Always
Big
back to the man.
big freak for that guy
Yeah,
right
he
now.
rules.
Yeah, big fan.
Cool, man. Let's take to the last question here before we end our episode of On That Note. And that is, what is your favorite decade of music and what's the worst?
I'm going tens.
For favorite?
Yeah, and then 20s for worst.
Wow.
I'm talking 1910s and 1920s.
Oh, damn, dude.
JK,
You switch up.
JK. All right.
Would you really say
favorite-
2020? Oh, okay. You were just fucking.
Yeah, I
around.
was. Yeah,
All right. I was like, damn, dude. There's some good music coming out now, though.
there's good music coming out of the 1920s, bro. Don't say that.
Yeah,
Don't say that.
This is a hot topic question.
Um. I did. Yeah, I feel like my favorite decade is, I don't know, just the past 10 years. So
Mhm.
I know that's like whatever, tens to early 20s. We'll take that.
Right.
I feel like a cop out is like the 2000s. I actually love the 2000s. I love 2000s pop. I think it's so
Mhm.
sick. I think it's so sick. I think there was so much like interesting music. It was also a weird time for like what was like huge, like like new metal and stuff. That's like
Yeah.
but yeah, the worst. I don't know. It's such a. I used to hate the 80s.
Yeah,
But
that's usually my answer.
I'm gonna back off. Yeah, I'll say 1940s worst decade.
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah.
that's
All those.
definitive. All the ragtime. Shut up.
Get out of
God,
here, dude.
So annoying. Ooh.
We get
Yeah.
it. Jazz hands.
Yeah. God, it's so annoying. I get it out of here. It's like my wife's always playing 40s music. I'm like, stop.
They don't even have George Clinton.
They don't even have it. So dumb. Like, could you imagine listening to 1940s music? Not me.
No, dude. That sounds like torture. Well, Bedon, dude, thank you for joining me for episode of On
dude.
That Note, getting to talk about Daylight, your sophomore album, which is out right now. So everybody go listen to it, check it out. So many bops, beautiful concept. Thank you for talking about it, man. Getting into the weeds with the creative process and everything.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for having me on. And sorry for my rambling brain. and
Dude, no, that's what
going
this
all
is
over the
for.
place. I also literally, like, you saw me become like an awake human because when I like
Yeah,
got
we
on
documented
this thing.
it.
Well, yeah, because I like hadn't had any coffee, and like I am not a human until I have coffee, which is so dumb. But like I literally like I woke up, was like, oh no, I got a podcast. I gotta get up."
Yeah.
And then like rushed down here after getting in the shower, and then was just like, we started, and I was just like, oh yeah, hey. So
Yeah, you get to
took me
watch
a
that
s-
process.
yeah, it took me a sec to find my brain. So
I
glad we
get it.
found it, and it was a fun time, bro.
It
And I am a
was.
fan of this podcast, dude.
Thank you.
Seriously. I also just like I admire the fact that you're doing a podcast and like, you know, I don't know. Not everybody does a podcast, or I feel like maybe people wait to have like a big platform to start one, but like
Hmm.
I want to start a podcast at some time. Like, I don't know. People just need to get over the thinking that you need to be somewhere to do something. Just do it. So I admire that you're
True.
doing a podcast. I think that's
Thank
sick.
you.
Just like, why the freaking heck not? It's fun.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, getting to talk about all this. I'll let you know if I'm ever in Nashville. If you're ever in Athens, please hit me up. I
Yeah,
live with
dude.
Tommy, so just come hang.
Yeah, tell Tommy I said hey.
I
He'll know
will.
what it- he'll
He
know
told
what
me
it
to tell
means.
you what's up as well.
Nice. He'll know what it means when I say hey.
All right. Yeah. Nobody else would understand
He'll
the
get
underlying emotion behind that.
it. He'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but cool. Bedon, thank you again for coming on
Yeah,
the show,
bro.
dude. I'll talk to you later.
Preach, bro. Have a good one.
See you, dude.
Bye.
You too.
I don't really get you down.
Thank you again for tuning into the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Remember, not only can you listen to the episodes on Apple Podcast and Spotify, but you can also watch the episodes on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description below. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time.